If you're a roofer who's looking at different CRMs and ProLine is on that list, this video is for you. I'm James, VP of Growth here at ProLine, and I've hosted hundreds of roofing businesses for software demos. I'm gonna answer the top questions about who ProLine is, what we do, and who we can help with the switch. ProLine is a roofing-specific CRM built for residential roofers, doing over about 50% roofing, and then the rest being exteriors. Maybe gutters, windows, walls, siding, doors, commercial, blended mixed residential, a variety of other things, hardscapes, decks, what have you. But over about that 50% mark of residential roofing, that is who ProLine is for. The key problem that ProLine fixes fundamentally is communication. Communication internally, communication externally, getting you in front of the customer in a way that best serves them and allowing you to make a heck of a lot more money in the process. Now, what this means practically for you is that ProLine will enable you to communicate better to provide that five-star experience. There's a solid amount of roofing businesses in the United States and Canada that have great production but horrible communication. Thereby, their professionalism is in the garbage. They're ethical, they do great work, but you wouldn't know it by looking at their GBP or by talking to someone on the phone because it's 4 weeks to get a call back. ProLine is different from the other roofing CRMs in this space, specifically serving residential roofing and exteriors in a couple different ways. First of all communication internally and externally to anyone on your team is all housed within the CRM. That's number one. But number two is that the intricacies of incumbent A or us versus incumbent B or us versus other name that got spun up and vibe coded comes down to what CRM it is that you're talking about. There are CRMs in the space that for one reason or another have done well enough in certain areas to stay in business for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Anyone that is still in business after that amount of time is doing something right. I cannot sit here and tell you that everything is wrong, that they don't do anything correct. That would be ludicrous and I would be lying through my teeth. But what I can tell you is that the systems that are built on old code bases, that are inflexible, that are rigid, that have tons of tech debt, are not the ones that are going to set you up successfully for the future. In the era of improvements in tech, more AI implementation, developing needs for smarter consumers that are going to be interacting with you. Something built on a code base in 05, not really going to help you with AI implementation around transcripts, calling, and AI agents, eh? Probably not. So how does it differ? We all have a different focus. Ours is communication, being communication first. That's SMS, that's email, that's calling, that's manual and automated internally, and then also externally with anyone that you interact with throughout the process. That is our fundamental problem that we are solving. Better communication. Period, end of story. That doesn't mean that we don't have rockstar quoting. That doesn't mean that we don't have measurement integrations. That doesn't mean that we don't also have 100% Scouts Honor, completely biased, the best QuickBooks integration in all of the land. Doesn't mean we don't have these things, but our focus is on communication over everything because we're more interested in making you money and enabling your people to do more revenue generating activities than to enter data into a spreadsheet and be glorified VAs. That's not what your team wants to do. That's not why they got into home services. That's not why they want to interact with homeowners. It's not why they want to do any of that. We want to enable you to enable them to create the life that they want. ProLine helps residential roofing and exteriors companies with communication and follow-up in a handful of different ways. Everything from speed to lead and lead ingestion all the way through reviews, referrals, collections, etc. All the communication within, also to include appointment reminders, are handled by the system. Now, this is both email and SMS, and then task creation for manual calls to be made. This is also AI agents calling outbound and receiving calls inbound after hours when you want to hang out with the kids, when you want to be with the wife, when you want to go on a date night, when you want to not worry about the 55 calls that you get in the middle of the night because people need something even when you're at dinner. Communication happens within the system whether you're doing it or not. And that's the beauty of it. That is fundamentally the biggest difference that will make you a heck of a lot more money. And the thing to keep in mind about this communication is that we pre-build the 55 best campaigns that our best clients use into your free account before you even sign up. We give you those word tracks before you sign up. They're built into your system before you sign up. Out of box, ProLine will give you the puzzle pieces to put together whatever it is that you want. Your 55 workflow templates, your 25 quote templates, an ability to customize, duplicate, create new, build from scratch, whatever the heck you want. We're gonna give it to you out of box the way our best customers use it. But if you have a super special snowflake way you wanna rock on this, go for it. If you have things that you like to communicate in your current system right now and you wanna dupe those, go for it. We want to enable you to have better communication both internally and externally to the homeowners to provide that 5-star experience and be a company that's worth working for. Most of the people at working in roofing jump from roofing company to roofing company or exteriors company to exteriors company because they don't have the tools that would enable them to create the scenario that they like to for themselves and their family. Right? They're having to do tons of things manually. They're not able to spend time doing revenue generating activities. Our goal is to enable those that want to reach to really go out there and then also help your laziest people make a heck of a lot more money in their sleep. ProLine's pricing tiers are simple: good, better, best. The full system exists within each of these tiers. And whether you want to look at it from best, better, good or good, better, best, everything has the phone system, everything has the quoting tool, everything has our pipelines and stages, Pro Canvas, it has the QuickBooks integration, has all of the basic functionality across all tiers. You go into our better tier, you've got some AI implementation and ability to have agents, not forced AI agents, but the ability to add seats for the agents if that's something that you want. But that's notwithstanding the other AI functionality around transcript, call scoring, AI Pro Trainer, scenario-based role play, the AI Insurance Estimate Manager. You have all of these other features in that middle tier that really is such a small jump in cost from the good tier to that better. Now from that middle tier, that is our AI implementation tier with access to agents if you want them, we have another tier that's our best tier, and that's gonna be everything in better, just like everything in better was everything in good plus AI. Best is going to be everything in better plus marketing features. This is going to be typically the one-to-many communication in a variety of formats, okay? Broadcast for SMS and email. We're talking about social media stuff going on. We're talking about landing pages. We're talking about many things that we don't even have on the page yet that I know in the back of my head are coming, but I cannot tell you yet because they're not here yet. So we've got our good, that is our fundamental, that is the minimum that you would get at ProLine, which is gonna be full system, no AI. The middle tier, it's gonna be full system plus AI, and ability to add agents if you want. And the best tier, that's gonna be everything in better plus one-to-many tools like you would have in another system that will help you get in front of people in a different way that's not one-to-one at scale. ProLine CRM can help you with accountability across your team in a couple of different ways. First of all, we have an activity feed on every project. You get to see, as the owner or any admin level permissions, everything that happens on a project. But you also have the ability to restrict your individual reps to only their projects. So you're not worried about someone seeing this commission from this person or that person got this commission. You have reps looking at their own stuff, but you as owner or admin have the ability to see everything. The other thing to keep in mind here is that accountability can be enforced by way of checklists, by way of tasks, by way of workflows, added as projects move through stages, right? As jobs underneath the projects move through their stages as well. We can have actions that happen. We can have things that people get tagged. We can have things get assigned to individuals on your team. The other thing to keep in mind about this is that when you have a project and you have multiple people on your team, anyone that has access to that project has the ability to see that stuff at a glance. You got project details through project activity all the way through each of the other subsets of the process from nose to tail, from lead ingestion all the way through paid and closed. You have access to have all that information in one place. So not only can you see timestamps of who did what, when they did it, you can see who it was to communication-wise back and forth, when stuff was tagged, when stuff was checked off. You have the ability to fact check, trust but verify anyone on your team with relation to anything going on any project. So you've got that, and then we have a slew of permission sets that can be set for custom permission profiles for either individuals to have completely different permission profiles, or for you to have it based on team member, or a blend of the two. And also we have notifications across the board. Push notifications and email notifications for damn near everything that can be set up on the individual user basis for what they want to be notified for and what they don't. And as an admin and owner, you have global notifications too for some things that some other people would not have access to, where you can kind of see some overarching things that are happening day over day with your whole team. Yes and yes. ProLine has 4 native measurement integrations: Hover, EagleView, Quick Measure, and Roof Scope. We also have a CSV import capability, and we have a manual super special snowflake capability for you to type it in with your little fingers if you want. We have the ability for you to use any measurement provider. Any of those providers that are not natively integrated inside ProLine, you should have access to get them to CSV. And if you don't have access to get them to CSV, I would recommend 2 things. 1, you probably find a different provider. And 2, maybe you reach out to their support because you may just not be seeing how to get that measurement report to CSV. On our side, if you're not using one of the 4 that I mentioned, or you're not manually typing it in, which I wouldn't recommend because accuracy and precision kind of goes out the window when you start manually transferring things back and forth. CSV import is a heck of a lot better. If you're not using one of those, you can just one-click import it into a project. Now, the thing to keep in mind about our estimating though, that's very different than the other systems in the space, is that our estimating can be both multi-option, so good, better, best, excellent, best, better, good, 15 option, as many upgrades, cross-sells, upsells, what have you. It can be all that. Multi-trade, you could do 7 trades on the daggum quote if you want. The other thing that we can do is multi-structure. So let's say you have a building that has a main home, detached garage, carriage house in the back, and then also a shed. You can quote all 4 of those structures in a single estimate by way of referencing the measurement report from one of those providers that you manually put in there. Pull all of those into a single quote, and then give the homeowner the capability of which structures do I want to select that I want you to do, and what option per structure independent of one another do you want. What we see consistently is that homeowners are selecting maybe the better or best tier on their home and detached garage, but because a shed is in the back, they'll go good, right? And because the carriage house is back there, they'll maybe go better, not best, because it's not on the front of the property. So not only can you do multi-structure, you can do multi-option, you can go good, better, best, excellent. You can go best, better, good. You can build these out however you want. You could also, instead of using just our regular price list items that are already pre-built into these templates, you could flip them out with ABC, QXO, or SRS pricing. You can actually take these quotes or these estimates, depending on how you want to talk about it, and when they get signed, automatically create material and work orders to continue down the process of working the project. Now, on the material side, these can be sent directly to the big 3 suppliers, so ABC, QXO, and SRS, with the accurate price list items related to the branch that you order from. Pretty cool. The other side, on the labor side, you also can have those be routed to the specific vendor that you wanted to have do the install or subcontract to, or in-house crew, and they can have that as well automatically from the signing of the quote. Pretty easy. The thing that you can also do is control the measurement fields at your company's settings. Through the measurement providers, you have a certain amount of fields that can be mapped, that are physically able to be mapped from their side to ours. But that doesn't mean that you can't create others on our side. And now, with the recent update, you have the ability to split up these measurement fields by trade. So in your measurement reports, it'll actually show it by trade, and the measurement fields that relate to each trade will be split up by the trade there, so it's much easier to follow. So if you're not doing gutters, siding, windows, walls, doors, you may not care about the last 50 measurements on there. You may only care about the roofing measurements, so you don't get confused, you don't waste time, you're not entering things in the wrong place. ProLine's mobile app is gonna be about as close as you're really gonna want it to the desktop app. And what I mean by that is, we've stripped out all the things that would yank performance down that you don't need on a day-to-day basis in the mobile app. And what I mean by that is a lot of your configuration of the company settings and your account and all the things that really you need a stinking bigger screen than your palm to do anyways, we pulled out of the mobile app so that it doesn't slow it down. It gives you only the things that you need from a day-to-day capability to use and work the leads and send the quotes and do the inspections and be out in the field, where a lot of the heavy configuration stuff is done back on desktop. Now, the thing to keep in mind is that our quotes are fully responsive on mobile. So in the mobile app, you do not need to go to your computer that's on a hotspot in your truck to send the quote out. You can do it on your mobile app, you can do it on your tablet, you can do it anywhere there. Pretty easy. You just set up the configuration of the quote templates that you're using and utilizing to do the quoting ahead of time on desktop during onboarding, not even day over day. You go ahead and set those and then let your team rip on those there. Is it a little bit slower than desktop? You bet your butt it is. It's a mobile app. It's not going to be one-to-one. Again, there's intentional things that are taken out of it that are not necessary on mobile, but it's still going to be a full mobile app. A combination of that and our web version in the browser, you'll be able to do everything that you need to do with the help of your team when you need it. In our mobile app, something that is different though, vastly different than some of the other systems that we compete with, is that you have your full phone capabilities. Your rep level phone numbers exist at the mobile app as well. Not only can you do stuff on the browser and call inbound, outbound, but you can actually just do it inside the mobile app when you're in the field. And so this means that you can respond to your texts back and forth. You can answer your calls. You can call out of here, right? You can record your voice memos. You can do everything that you need to on that mobile app, send your inspection report before you even leave the daggum job site or potential job site there, take your photos, upload them, or use something like a company cam that we already have a native integration for you to upload that way. So mobile app is gonna give you the functionality that you need from a day-to-day basis. Is it perfect? No, sir, it's not. But our support is around, sitting by the phone, waiting for you to reach out with a sub 5-minute response time for any problem that you may have.